Welcome to my film review of Crawl. Now this is a movie that doesn't come out for over 4 weeks. It's the 29th of July today, and this movie isn't scheduled for release until the 23rd of August. So that's literally 4 weeks and a couple of days away. And the reason I'm able to review this film so early for you is because it's an unlimited Cineworld unlimited secret screening. Now I'll confess, this is actually the first one of these I've ever been to. You've probably heard of them yourself. I'm an unlimited Cineworld member, yet I can't remember the last time they did one of these, although they've done 2 this month. I missed the first one, which was Bruce Springsteen movie. But before this month, I can't remember the last time I saw them do one. So I was excited to go along, hoping to see something, exciting, maybe even the Fast and Furious a few days early would have done. But it was this movie called Crawl. Now my first thought was, what the hell is that? I've never heard of it. Now, just to let you know, this is going to be another review similar to Godzilla, where at the end, once I've reviewed the movie in my usual way without any spoilers, I am going to have a little rant again, I'm afraid. Yes, it was one of those movies again. There's a few things I need to rant about and get off my chest, so hang around at the end if you don't intend on seeing this movie and you just want to listen to the rant. If you've seen it, come back, listen again, see whether you agree with my rant. And if you haven't seen it, make sure you stop listening at the point where I give you forewarning that I'm going to start the spoiler section. So it's going to be at the very end, but I just wanted to give you the heads up. So it's going to be another one of those ranters. Now, Crawl, didn't know anything about it, but then as the movie got going, I realised, yes, I'd seen this trailer not so long ago. And I remember when I saw the trailer, I thought, hey, crocodile movie. Yeah, we haven't had one of those. It's actually alligators, but, I'm from the UK. I imagine in America it must drive you crazy if you say crocodile when it should be alligator. I guess it would be like us saying dog and cat, mixing those two up. But to us, Europeans, crocodile, alligator, potato, patata, it's the same thing. But these were alligators, so I'll try and use the right term. But nevertheless, alligator movie, fantastic. We've had a Jaws movie, we've had loads of shark movies, we've had snake movies, Anaconda, Snakes on a Plane, we've had spider movies, arachnophobia. Now, if you've got a phobia of these kind of animals, I think you'll agree the movies are great. They're probably rubbish, but at the same time, you probably love them because they scare you. Personally, I don't find alligators scary. I actually find them quite fascinating creatures. I think they're quite beautiful. And, compared to, say, for instance, snakes, they are not what I would class as that scary. I think they're quite an adorable creature, quite frankly. So maybe I'm not enjoying this movie because I don't find the animal scary. I also find that their desire to kill the animal with a hurrah, yeah, the bad guy's being killed, that's a bit harsh. I mean, these are just alligators going about their own business. They're not like crazed killer sharks that have had an injection which makes them super crazy and super killer, like some shark movies that we've seen where you're like, yeah, that creature deserves to be killed. These are just sharks. It'd be like, oh, the squirrel's pecking at me, I'm going to kill it. Well, get out of its way if you can, but it doesn't justify you killing the animal and making out like, hurrah, we've just done society a big favour. So I kind of found the whole moral balance to the movie a little bit weird, because like I say, these are just harmless alligators that happen to be associated with humans because of floodwaters, which brought the two together. It wasn't the alligator's fault. So anyway, the movie starts off swimming, so I'm like, oh, it's a movie about swimming. Okay, I love the Olympics, but no, that was just a little side story. It ends up being a movie all about alligators. Great, fine, I'm on board. Sounds fantastic. But it just wasn't. It was like Godzilla. It was like they had the scary monster, fantastic CGI. They're hard to imagine that these weren't actually real alligators and that they were, computer imposed, which they must have been, but you just can't imagine it. It's spectacular, flawless special effects. But I don't know, it just, it didn't work. The storyline was a bit pants. the environment in which they were trapped with the alligators, the way that they came across, their paths crossed, didn't really work. I don't know, just didn't get it. So I'll keep this brief because there's not much to say other than I found this movie pretty disappointing. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Nah, pleh. So this doesn't come out till the end of August. My recommendation is this. If you think you'd be scared of alligators, give it a try. If you've got an unlimited Cineworld and there's not that much on and you can go for free, yeah, go and check it out. But it's only on for 87 minutes, so it's not quite a full hour and a half, so it's not too bad to sit through, you know. But other than that, if you've got to pay for it, don't, man. Just wait till this comes out on Netflix or on TV in a couple of years or probably a couple of months' time. Just wasn't worth going to the cinema for. I'm trying to figure out what it was supposed to do. Was it supposed to be scary? No, it just wasn't scary. They're alligators. And I don't know. Was it supposed to be a fascinating story between a couple of the characters? Well, that didn't work either. The story kind of sucked. The main character, the female character who's a swimmer, I found her a little bit annoying. It was like she just had this huge scream all the time to, you know, was her answer to everything, and the scream was never going to get heard, so it was kind of a pointless scream as well, which made it just seem like, I don't know, like, get over yourself. What's the point in screaming? So really, really didn't work for me, this movie, I'm afraid. If in a month's time you decide to go and see this, feel free to let me know what you thought. But for me, don't waste your money. It's a long way off yet. It's not coming out till the 23rd. But I wouldn't bother. Sorry. I don't think this movie's going to be at the cinema very long. It's probably only going to be a couple of weeks and then they're going to ditch it. So if you do want to see it, you probably want to see it fast. But nah, just didn't work. It's our first crocodile alligator movie, and I think, and it sucked. It sucked, I'm afraid. Didn't do it for me. 5 out of 10. I don't give marks much worse than that. Godzilla, I think, was 4.5 out of 10. Cold Pursuit was 5.5 out of 10. So giving this a 5 out of 10 seems generous, because Cold Pursuit was it was pretty okay, really. And I gave it a 5 out of 10. But this sucks. So I don't really have much more to say other than it just bugged me. At first I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. Bit slow to get going. Didn't even know the movie was about crocodiles, alligators for quite a while. And then eventually like, yes, I remember this movie now. I'd seen the trailer. So it was a little bit slow to get going. When it did get going, it just wasn't scary enough. It wasn't. So if it was supposed to be scary, it didn't work. Sorry. And I found the main character female. Sorry, but I found her a little bit annoying. So that's it. That wraps it up. That's the end of my summary. That is the end of the review. Don't waste your money, I'm afraid, is my advice. Hopefully at the end of August there's going to be much better movies out than this. Not sure what though right now. So that's it. End of review. Pants. 5 out of 10. That's possibly being generous, because Godzilla was better than this. Yeah, I can't give this a 5 out of 10 if I gave Godzilla 4.5. I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 10 as well. I think I might have downgraded Godzilla to 4 in the end, actually. This is getting a 4.5 out of 10. Yeah, a 4.5 out of 10. There we go. So that's the end of the review as to whether or not you may wish to go and see this or not. Next, I'm going to talk about what really gripped my... what annoyed me. Okay? Try not to swear in these, just so they're not anti-universal reviews. So I'll try and keep the swear words out. But here we go. I'm now going to discuss the things in this movie that drove me crazy. The stuff that really annoyed me. So much that I had to record this rant episode about the movie Crawl. Did this annoy you as well, or am I just far too picky? Once a movie starts to annoy me, everything starts to annoy me. You know when there's a person that you don't like and then everything they do, whether it's chewing their food or scratching the table or clicking their pen, everything annoys you. So that's what happened with this movie. At first I thought it was going to be an okay movie, and then it just got pathetic. So here's my first rant, and it's major rant. The escape hatch. They're trapped, she finds the escape hatch, and first of all she gives up way too easy on it, okay? She gives up way too easy on it. If your life really depended on it, you could have pushed, shaken around, whatever it was on top, you could have eventually made it topple over, keep trying, eventually it might have give, and you could have got to safety and your life is saved. If your life really depended on it, you would have tried a lot harder than what you did. So that was a little bit frustrating, the fact that she gave up so easy. But not to worry, the police arrive, they're in the house. At first I thought they were just going to drive off, but no, they actually came into the house. No problem, all she has to do is go back to the hatch, say, hey Mr. Policeman, this hatch, look, it's the perfect way for me to escape, but something's blocking it. Can you please unblock it, and then I can get out to safety, everything will be fine, and the movie can end. Or the movie can go off in a different direction and the crocodile alligators can pose a threat in a different manner in different circumstances. But no, we have to stay trapped in this scenario a little bit longer. So we're not going to do the most obvious thing in the world. And the policeman comes to the main hatch, which is the danger hatch, and isn't even the way that they could get out, so it's doing nothing by him going there. And she didn't even think they were communicating with the policeman. They could have said, hey Mr. Policeman, look, come to the hatch in the kitchen or wherever it was, and got them they were talking to him. They could have directed him there, but it was like they just forgot this hatch even existed, even though she risked her life to get to this hatch, and once she was there and she found out the police came, she'd forgot this hatch existed. The story writer wrote this into the story. It wasn't like, oh my god, there's this really obvious way that they could get to safety, but we just need to overlook that. They wrote this into the script. That hatch didn't have to exist if they were just gonna treat it as an annoying thing. Oh, let's close our eyes, pretend it doesn't exist, ignore that, on to the next thing. Don't put it in the movie if you're just going to then, in the very next minute, pretend it wasn't there. It's so frustrating. It's treating your audience as idiots. Again, like the Godzilla movie, I get that this isn't supposed to be, a true, factual documentary about alligators. It's supposed to be scary, but feasible, plausible, can we at least have that? Do we have to go so stupid and silly that all of a sudden you lose your mind and turn into a crazy person that doesn't have the simplest of common sense as to speak to the policeman and say, hey dude, we've got an easy way out here, just go to that hatch. That's all you had to do. And the other thing that really annoyed me regarding that scene was, a minute ago, before that, she was flashlighting the people and they saw the flashlight and they came over, oh, I'm about to come and see you, but obviously we know what happened then. So the flashlight was a great idea. It worked. It got people's attention. And then the police come. Somebody who can really help. The police. Yes, the police. Oh, how can I get their attention? Well, 10 seconds ago, I was using my flashlight and it worked. It worked like a charm when people were miles away. Now that I've got the police right on my doorstep and the flashlight's going to be even easier to see, I'm not going to use the flashlight anymore. I'm going to shout and scream in the middle of a thunderstorm where my voice can't be heard more than 2 feet away. So annoying. So there's 2 major gripes with that one scene. Next, moving on. Once the decision to leave the house. Once they got out of the perilous danger that they found themselves in underneath the house, they got into the house. Fantastic. It might be flooding a little bit, but we'll just go upstairs and we'll be safe as houses. No, we have to leave the house. Couldn't quite catch why he said. The dad was like, no, we've got to leave the house because of I don't know what. But they end up in the house, safe. The house ended up being the safe place to be, yet at this moment in time, just to keep the film going and just to get it going even more scary and just to, you know, because we're losing ideas for the plot, all of a sudden, oh, we're safe. We have to leave the house. We're perfectly safe in the house. We could go upstairs, but no, we have to leave the house. We have to cross this impossible amount of water full of crocodiles. And as long as we don't splash, they won't get us. Yeah, good one. So, oh, and then she outswims a crocodile. Yeah, good one. Yeah, she can't outswim her mates, but she can outswim a crocodile. God, that was annoying. So, they decide to leave the house, and they end up in the house, which proves to be the safe place. So, that was just ridiculous and annoying. Come up with better movie ideas, please. Right, next. Once she's on the boat, she proves to be an absolute whiz of a driver. Whoo, whoo, whip it round, go collect your dad, yeah, boo, no problem. She is swish with that steering. She is a good driver. Wow, I mean, she was slick. Straight away, got that boat going, boom. Got it to where it needed to be with a bit of silky skill driving. Love it. And then all of a sudden, once her dad's on the boat and the big tidal wave is rushing in, oh, even though we've got like 10 seconds to react, oh, I don't know what to do anymore. Maybe we'll just let the water take us and we'll ride our luck. Oh yeah, what a surprise, you smash into a house. When you had all the time in the world, especially given how excellent a driver you'd proven to be, you had all the time in the world to drive off and get out the way, get to safety. Now that you're in the boat that you risked your bloody lives to get, you're just going to let the boat get capsized with the tidal wave? Ridiculous. So that was bloody well annoying. That was insanely annoying. What next? Oh, she's immune to crocodile bites. She gets bit 3 times. The first couple of times I could just about get away with. The leg, okay, she had wounds, and the croc couldn't really do a barrel roll because the water wasn't that deep. I'll let you have that one. The arm, while, you know, shooting, bit unrealistic again because the dad didn't have any problem with his arm, did it, the little crocodile? But her arms, well, they're extra tough. They're like Wolverine arms. You can't just break them off, excuse me, easily, like you could a normal person. She is made of tougher stuff. And then finally, the croc gets it in the ultimate position. I watch a lot of nature documentaries, but I don't think you need to know that the crocodiles barrel roll. That's how they tear their meat off the bone. Once you get in a barrel roll with a croc, you are screwed. Not if you're this girl, because of the fact she spent some of her life swimming. Woo! She's got tougher ligaments that don't pull off quite as easy. And she survives several barrel rolls by a croc. Good one. No, not having that. So that was disappointing as well. Next, the floodwaters. I don't live in America. I'm on British soil where we don't get too many crazy weather storms like they get in America. And I'm no expert, but pretty sure that house was probably about 8 meters tall. And the water was all the way up 8 meters. I pay attention to the news when any part of the country is suffering, you know, God bless them, with those kind of weathers. And I don't think I've ever seen that kind of crazy flood stuff. I mean, unless I'm just not figuring something out here, if one part of the world could flood by 8 meters, I'm pretty sure that would mean the whole world would have to flood. I mean, how could one area be 8 meters flooded without it dispersing and leveling itself out? It would mean the whole area had to be massively flooded. And by the whole area, I mean the whole of the world. Could be wrong, but that seemed ridiculous. So, don't know if that's ridiculous or not. I mean, like I say, you know, don't expect these movies to be 100% true to life. It's a movie, but it needs to be plausible, doesn't it? Just so that you don't come away going, what a load of tosh that was. So there you go, whole of the world flooded. And then at the end we have a chopper flying around and aeroplanes before that, I think, flying around. What, in like an F5 hurricane? Really? Choppers would be out? Oh, maybe we can find somebody. Wouldn't the... I mean, like I say, I don't know. Don't live in an area where this happens regularly at all. So wouldn't the choppers wait until they could safely fly to try and rescue people rather than going out in the middle of a gale force hurricane? and potentially losing the helicopter, which means you can't then save people once the storm has passed. That just seemed ridiculously unrealistic. And then once the chopper did come along, boom, the film ends. And it was like, what a ridiculously abrupt ending. I mean, what, were they paying per the minute for film time? Were they trying to do this on a budget? And it was like, oh, we don't want to use any additional 8mm film or whatever, so let's just go, boom, end. Movie stops right there, right then. That's the end of the movie. So that was a bit annoying. And then the song at the end, see you later, crocodile, in a wild crocodile, alligator, whatever that song is. I think that was them taking the mickey out of themselves. So maybe it was supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek, slapsticky, pathetic kind of a movie, but it didn't come across as attempting to be funny with itself. It came across like it was trying to be serious, and then right at the end it was as if they'd watched the movie back after the editing and gone, do you know what, this movie sucks. Let's pretend we know it sucks, and therefore, wink wink, have a laugh at ourselves with the audience by playing that song, See You Later, Alligator. I got up and practically ran out of the cinema when that finished, I'm not going to lie. So, didn't hang around. So that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. That was my experience of my first Cineworld unlimited secret screening. And it sucked. But at least I know at the end of August, when I'll be enjoying the last few weeks of British summer, not to waste my time going and watching the movie Crawl when it comes out, and I implore you to do the same. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a rant, because sometimes you just need to get stuff off your chest when a movie annoys you. And like Godzilla, am I being too harsh? I thought it was pants. What did you think? Anyway, thanks for listening, especially thanks for listening to hear me rant. Appreciate it. And if you want to hear another rant, go and check out Godzilla. Don't think it went down too well with some of the Godzilla fans, which I apologise. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'm not saying my opinion is everything, it's just my opinion, and I hope it differs to many, because we all have different opinions. So, blah 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 blah. I'll stop talking now. Thank you for listening, and we will see you on the next review. Goodbye.